Fucking yes, mate. 'Cause we stay all late. And I'm wide awake. I'm not coming home tonight. Till the next time when I'm on the line. I'll leave you this note. I'm not coming home tonight. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Pass Interference Podcast. I am your host, as always, Max Whirling. How's everybody doing today on this lovely, lovely, lovely Week 6 Eve-ish, I guess? I don't know, because we're recording on a Friday. And, yeah, sorry we missed y'all last week and kind of the last couple weeks, but, you know, life happens. We had to get Bronson married, of course. We had to get, our lives together after that because it changed for the better and everything like that. So, we move on. We're on week 6, but we will cover week 5 briefly. So, we're just going to cover some key games and go over some news that happened this week, and that's about it. So, joining me to my imaginary right, he is the man, the myth, the legend. He is the bearded one. He is Johan Jonathan Eckert. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Sleepy as usual, but it's Friday, so we got football tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, so let's go.
So much fucking football. Also, drink a bang.
Yes, I'm definitely going to need one tomorrow. I know that.
True. And joining me to my imaginary left, as always, it is the one who is the most recently married and the one who is betrothed to the wonderful Emma. It is, of course, Bronson Pompilio. How are you?
I am good, man. It's another day in Pompilio world. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's good shit. See, and everybody's like, yeah, marriage changes you. Nah, nothing changes. You just do the same shit. You just have a fancy piece of jewelry on your finger. And also, if you break up, they take half your shit. So that's basically all marriage is.
So stay single, chat. No, just kidding.
No, never stay single. Dog, we were talking about it at my job, and like I forget who it was, but somebody was talking about like dating, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm married because I don't want to go fucking date anybody. Like, dating to me in 2019 just seems like AIDS. Like, straight up AIDS. It does not look fun at all. Sorry, John.
It does suck. A lot.
But, I don't know, it's just the fact of, like, I don't know, we were the originators, we were the OGs back in the old days of the, OkCupid and the whole online dating thing before apps came about, and then all of a sudden the apps came out, and I'm like, man, even the apps aren't even that good. Like, I
feel, it's gonna come down to, I feel like later on in my life, I'm just gonna turn into, what was it, the Bagel Boss guy? Is that what they call him? That's gonna be me in the future.
Don't be Bagel Boss, dog.
I mean, I'll call myself something different, because that name kind of sucks.
Alright, so, like I said, we're just gonna touch on week 5 really quick. First game we'll talk about is the Thursday night matchup, which, Thursday night games are very hit or miss. They're either really, really good or really shit-tastic. We'll talk about the week 6 one as well, but, week 5's matchup was really fucking good. It was the Seattle Seahawks at home against the LA Rams, and it came down to the wire. Ultimately, the Seahawks come away after a missed Greg the Leg Zerline kick. Not much more to say about this. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight in the NFC West. John, I'll start with you. What's your takeaways from this game?
I'm going to agree with the last thing you said. I mean, this division, outside of Arizona, unless something happens drastically, this division is going to be really fun to watch. I mean, And each division game is going to be incredibly important. So to expect more games like this. It was incredible. You saw why Russell Wilson, now a lot of people are finally saying, I know a lot of people have been saying he's been one of the best quarterbacks the last handful of years, but I'm seeing it more and more now. And he's showing why. I mean, in big time moments, he steps up. He had the home crowd around him, but he shows why, he throws 268 yards, but he put 4 touchdowns on the board and doesn't make mistakes. And Chris Carson he got it going too. So when they got the run game going, I mean, this team, I mean, we know what they could do in the playoffs. I mean, if they start heating up like they are now, I mean, look out.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Bronson, I mean, you've been talking about Russell Wilson now for the past couple years, and you've been saying how he's so underrated. I think after a game like Thursday, I think firmly entrenched in, I would say in the MVP race. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, dude, this team is like literally picking up from where it left off last year, like come week 6 or 7 when everyone thought the world was burning around them. They just have been playing so fucking well since then. I think the team is getting continuity. I think they had a bit of a hangover after Doug Baldwin kind of retired on them, and I think with them kind of finding their stride and Tyler Lockett being a bona fide number 1 in that offense, which is kind of crazy because he does not I guess you could compare him to T.Y. Hilton, but I mean, in the MVP race, he's definitely up there. I mean, in terms of quarterbacks, because it's always goddamn fucking quarterback who's MVP. I mean, obviously Mahomes is always going to be a candidate, but I saw a little interesting statistic about him, which kind of is blowing my mind today. I just saw that Patrick Mahomes is 30th in the NFL in red zone percentage. He's only better than Baker and Daniel Jones in the red zone right now, which was a crazy statistic. Wow. He has a 20 or an 18% success rate in the red zone right now, which that kind of blew my mind. It's on Adam Lefkoe's Twitter, which is insane. And he was first in the NFL last year with a 52% success rate or whatever the hell it was. But that's crazy. So that's kind of fucking with my if you asked anyone on the street, they'd be like, oh, it's Patrick Mahomes. But then I know that little stat, so it's eating me alive. So I don't see any reason why it can't be Russell. I mean, the NFC West right now is just stupid good. And I also think that game is the beginning of the end for the Rams, because I've been saying all year that they're going to get hit with the Super Bowl hangover. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the beginning of that. And now we're looking at next week with no Aqib Talib and Todd Gurley. So you're going to go play another division rival and potentially go 0-2 in the division. That's terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, you can't argue Russell Wilson as an MVP. I'm kind of getting all over the place, but yeah, Seahawks are a damn good team. I hate them, but they're a damn good team. And then as that defense starts to get continuity with Jadeveon Clowney, I mean, sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and a lot of people are especially writing off the Seahawks this year. When Doug Baldwin retired, obviously they've had even though he was basically retired last year, but Cam Chancellor I think was officially retired this year. A lot of people are like, oh, that's it, the Seahawks, they've got nobody, and who's Russell gonna throw to? And Russell throws to who the fuck is open. So
Will Dissly. I mean, he's tearing it up too because of Russell. I mean, that connection's been awesome to watch too.
And my boy DK Metcalf, man, all he does is run go routes. That's all I want him to do is just run go routes. So yeah, and what's crazy about Russell Wilson's stats, right? So Russell Wilson is, let's see here, 1 second here. He has, I believe, he has 12 touchdowns in the air and 0 interceptions so far. He has not thrown a single interception this year. Plus, I think he has a couple rushing touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. He has 2 rushing touchdowns, so he has 14 total touchdowns on the air. He has the highest completion percentage of his career so far at 73.1%. And like I said, he's throwing 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. You can't ask for more for your franchise quarterback. So, yeah.
Hey, what's the elite theme song, Max?
The elite, be the elite.
Exactly,
elite,
and that's what he's showing. I mean, that's what he's showing. I mean, he's clutch, and he's showing it off right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think Seattle is a strong Super Bowl contender for this year. So, we move on from that game to Bronson. Do you want to talk about what happened in England, jolly old England, or?
Yeah, man. I'll just take it from here and we'll move on.
Yeah, go for it.
Think the Raiders, John Gruden did a great job preparing his boys for it. I don't care what the fuck Matt Nagy says. I'm sick and tired of his ego getting in the way of preparing for games that provide an advantage due to traveling, heat, altitude. We fucking flew in Friday night. Who the fuck gets adjusted to jet lag in 36 hours? Nobody. Not one human fucking being. The Raiders went in hella early, got ready, got prepared. They've done this before with John Gruden. He knew what to expect. The offensive line and the defensive line of the Raiders manhandled our defensive line. I don't care if Akeem Hicks went out. We just destroyed the Vikings, and we looked like glorified bitches. I'm over my offensive line right now. They're playing like shit. Kyle Long puts in 0 effort. He gives up on plays. If he gets pushed a little, he lets the defender go right past him. I want his ass benched. I want his ass traded. You can go off to fucking Houston and pull that shit, but stop it. Like, the run game is garbage. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, it seems as if because we went 12-4, we took our foot off the gas with being harsh on these boys. Get it the fuck together. Perfect time for a bye week. Mitch Trubisky's going to be back. He will play for the Saints game. This is where it matters because the next 6 games are going to be extremely difficult for us. We got the Rams, the fucking Saints. We got the Chargers. We got the Chiefs. We got the Packers. We got the Lions. Like, those are all teams with winning records except the fucking Chargers. And that's even that team's record is worse than what the team actually is. So, like, get it the fuck together. We've been in this situation before, going 3-2 into a bye. Like, I have to listen to all this negativity with Bears Twitter because they are so critical of the quarterback position in Chicago. It's absurd. Just take what you can get. Embrace the fact we're never going to have a Patrick Mahomes. And even if we had Patrick Mahomes wouldn't be how we know him now in a Bears uniform. He wouldn't be that player. It's just we're cursed. We're not allowed to have a 4,500-yard fucking passer with 35 touchdowns. It's never going to happen. Stop expecting it. Good defense, good run game. That's Bears way. Get back to that. And that's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
Man the fuck up on the Lions. I can't say enough. Like, the defensive line probably was just exhausted. The offensive line were being babies. Just straight up babies.
Right. I was gonna say, I'm looking at the stat sheet, and I didn't watch the game. Obviously, I was sleeping, but I didn't watch any highlights or anything. But was Khalil Mack a factor at all, or was he just a
not at
complete...
all? Not at all. They took him completely out of the game.
Wow.
He didn't do a damn thing. Well, he had one play on a botched handoff. That's it. But that wasn't even really because of him. They took him out of the game. It's like, it's like the game almost felt like, well, Chicago, you guys really won, but we're going to let the Raiders win today. Like it's like you're gonna win in the long run, but we're gonna let the Raiders win today. And I said this I may have said this before, but like this game felt like the Giants game of last year to me. Same situation, same exact situation. I just felt like it was like that one that was gonna bite us in the ass. It's embarrassing. So fucking embarrassing. And then, we come back and we score 24 unanswered points in the second half. And it's like, oh, yeah, here we go. And then everyone's like, fuck yeah, fuck Mitch Trubisky. Chase Daniels is our future. And then he threw a pick in the quadruple coverage.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Chase Daniel is a spot starter. He is not a franchise quarterback. He's also like 35 years old, I think. So he is not there is no future with Chase Daniel. He is a spot starter. He actually, yes, he did throw 2 interceptions, but realistically, he was managing the game pretty well, and that's what you need him to do. He's never going to throw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. No, he's a come in there, win you a couple games when you need them in a moment's notice, and that's it.
He can't win a couple games. He's 2-2 as a Bears starter, so he's like at a 50% success rate.
Yeah, but even still, it's hit or miss with him. But he's not going to win you games.
And I'm almost going to say, I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to put this out there. I think the Bears were over exaggerating Mitch Trubisky's injury. I don't think he was really hurt that badly. Mm-hmm. Because I watched the fucking replay 100 times. It looked as if he maybe stretched himself. Maybe he kind of got himself a little hyperextended or whatever. Nothing super serious. Okay, we signed a guy off the practice squad. Brought him in, Tyler Bray, our third string quarterback, brought him into the game. So he's supposed to be our reserve quarterback to Chase. We cut him. Okay. We cut him on Monday. We cut him, put him back on the practice squad. All right. That's your indication right there that Mitch Trubisky's coming back. I almost feel if Matt Nagy took the playbook, chucked it at Mitch and was like, get your head in the fucking book. You don't get the bye. You get 2 weeks. Pull your head out of your ass, because there was those heated exchanges in the Washington game. We all saw it. Mm-hmm. And I think Mitch may have struggled with the verbiage. I also think Matt Nagy could also be overcomplicating things when he doesn't necessarily need to. But I wonder if he was like, we got 7 very hard games in front of us, no easy ones, and figure it out. You got a 2-week bye.
Yeah.
And game plan around that, and also give the New Orleans Saints are going to have to game plan for either Chase or Mitch, so that also throws them off their focus too. So there's a because the next 6 games for us are all fucking conference games, dude. Yeah. It's insane. And I think 2 of them are divisional games, so we gotta tighten it the fuck up ASAP.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but. We move on from that and that lovely thing. Unless John, did you want to add anything or?
Correct me if I'm wrong, and you might have touched on it, and I probably missed it. But was it Akeem Hicks that got injured?
Yes, dude. His elbow went in 2 different directions.
Yeah, dude. That was tough to watch. That's all I'm gonna say about that, and I hope he recovers.
It's looking like 4 weeks. He's looking like he'll be back for the Eagles game. That's
good. That's a big game.
Yeah, I want that revenge so fucking bad.
Oh, I know.
So, all right. So we move on from that. We're gonna just jet on over to the only overtime game of the week this week, or of week 5, which was the Baltimore Ravens Pittsburgh Steelers matchup. John, your Ravens did not have a particularly good offensive showing, but you squeak out a win in tough Pittsburgh. What say you?
So I just want to touch on Pittsburgh real quick. They are going to be A-okay, I think, on defense if they can retain most of these guys for next season. And one of the interceptions that Lamar Jackson threw was to Devin Bush, and we all know him just by talking about him a lot from our pre-draft. And yeah, that guy can freaking ball, man. I mean, he had his back turned, and I believe it was on Nick Boyle, and he just caught it over his shoulder, fell to the ground, and held on to it. Like, and they reviewed it, and he did a damn good job holding on to it. I mean, kudos to him. And you know, I hope Mason Rudolph is okay. That was a free kick. He kind of like jumped up, and Earl was running full speed at him. But Hodges came in and he looked incredible. I mean, I know our secondary's been suspect, you know, all season, but I mean, he came in and that kid, I mean, he has a cannon and he ran one time for like 25 yards, and I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, but you know, that's Pittsburgh for you. I mean, they're a hell of a franchise, you know, even though they're, you know, Ravens' biggest rival. I will say that. I mean, all the respect to them. They'll be fine in the long run, whatever happens. But moving on to the Ravens, I think teams are starting to figure out, for whatever reason, the Ravens' offensive line is just, I don't know what's going on. I mean, Lamar, at most times he has had only maybe a second or two, but most times what I'd like to see out of him that he used to do, and he still does it every now and then. I mean, his pocket awareness is great, but he used to roll out more, and I'd like to see more of that because he's going to need to if this offensive line is going to keep struggling. But he's doing a good job spreading the ball to everyone, so I do like that. Mark Andrews had one play where it looked like he could have maybe gotten a touchdown, but he didn't jump up for the ball, and it led to an interception. So there was some kind of freakiness in that regard. I do have faith in Martindale on defense. He's a hell of a coordinator, and they're shifting guys around. I mean, if guys aren't producing, Jefferson, we lost him for the season. He tore his ACL, but Deshaun Elliott gets to come in, and they call him the Joker, and Joker just came out, so that's pretty cool. And I mean, I really like that guy. They brought back Josh Bynes, and he had an interception, so that was pretty awesome. He hadn't played since the Super Bowl, so that was pretty cool. And McPhee's still stepping up, so that's pretty neat too. Judon struggling, but Marlon Humphrey he's proven week in and week out that even though the secondary is struggling, I mean, he's still locking it down. I mean, he held Juju in check. He missed the first time that led to a touchdown. He went for the ball and he missed it and the tackle, and it led to a touchdown. But in overtime, I mean, you can't hit a ball more perfectly like he did. I mean, he knocked it out and then he got up, found the ball, and picked it back up. I mean, and Justin Tucker, I mean, nothing needs to be more said about that. They squeaked by with a division win, and that's what matters most. The Browns got embarrassed on Monday night. So if they're playing the Bengals this weekend. So if they can come away and get a win there, Marquise Brown, and I think there's another guy, I can't remember. They're both game time decisions, but if they can come away with another division win there, I mean, they'll be sitting at 4-2. So I mean, there's no need to panic right now. I mean, I still have a lot of faith in the coaching staff and Lamar Jackson as a leader for this team, and some of these other guys. I like the attitude, I like the energy. So I think in the long run, this team will be fine. I mean, things need to be addressed. That was quite evident, but I mean, I have faith in this team. So, good overtime win, and Justin Tucker, that was an interesting overtime kick, but he got it. So that's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So, meanwhile, Pittsburgh struggles 1-4. Mason Rudolph, as you said, is out for indefinitely for his concussion. I mean, he took a nasty hit. Also, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I guess Pittsburgh's cart crapped out halfway through, so they had to have him walk off the field.
You know, I kept telling everyone, I was like, you got to be kidding me. I was like, if this was Ben Roethlisberger, they would have found another cart or a way to get that cart.
How could they not use the other? Yeah, well, A, B, couldn't they have gone over to the Ravens, been like, hey, can we use your cart? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, fuck that guy.
Jesus Christ.
I could not believe it because, I mean, I was at work, so I couldn't really hear what was going on. But I'm like, oh, wow, he got up. and he's walking. He doesn't look good, and I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was all on Mason Rudolph for some reason.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's wild. Like I still am dumbfounded that in the NFL and the Pittsburgh Steelers that happened.
Yeah. So, other than that, yeah, I mean Pittsburgh. This is why you don't. Even though Minkah Fitzpatrick is great, this is why you don't trade a first-round pick for a guy who you probably could have gotten away with a second, like a guy who wanted to be traded.
Dolphins are gonna have 2 top 10 picks.
Yeah, easily, and shit, they might have a third with. I mean, Houston played well, but depending on how well they play the rest of the year, they could have top 3, 3 top 20 picks in this upcoming draft, which is mind blowing. So, all right, we move on from that to. Really quick, I want to touch on the Carolina-Jacksonville game. That was a hell of a game. Christian McCaffrey balled out. And, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Gardner Minshew II. That's right, he is a junior. So for all those ladies who are into DILFs, he's got a dad. So, but yeah, I'm happy for Gardner Minshew. He's doing great things in Jacksonville. There's going to be probably a quarterback controversy when Nick Foles comes back, but we'll see that when that happens later. I did talk about Houston briefly. They did absolutely smash Atlanta 53-32. Deshaun Watson threw for 426 yards and 5 touchdown passes, 3 to Will Fuller, which is mind-blowing to me that he is absolutely lights out. I think Will Fuller is Deshaun's number 1 target. Like, I know he's got DeAndre Hopkins, but like, I think he has better chemistry with Will Fuller. Does he not?
Definitely.
Well,
go ahead.
Over time, DeAndre's played more with him, so their chemistry is gonna be there. But I think if Will's healthy and he's on the field, I don't even think Deshaun looks at him because he's not going to chance it because he already knows DeAndre is going against the number 1 corner. He's going to be doubled, tripled. So, like, he probably tells himself, don't even fucking bother.
Yeah.
Like, don't even bother. Just go to the 2s and 3s and the tight ends. And I think that's literally how he attacks it. Like, he doesn't want to – I don't think he just – I mean, he looks at DeAndre and he's like, dude, there's 2 people on you every fucking play. Like, I want to throw 5 touchdowns, not 5 picks, you know?
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, big win for Houston, terrible loss for Atlanta.
It's crazy to think because Will Fuller is like that one route type, you know? He's like a...
Yeah, he's DK Metcalf. He's a smaller version of DK Metcalf. Just, I'm gonna go long and you throw the ball as far as you can and I'll catch it.
But, you know, what's crazy is they have him and Kenny Stills on the same team.
And QT. Like, the depth at that position is insane.
Yeah. Too bad they, still need, elsewhere. Shore up elsewhere. They still need a defensive back, Patrick Peterson.
Or an offensive line.
Or an offensive line still. So
yeah, they could use another lineman, definitely.
Just one more. I think one more and they'll be okay. Like, they'll have an average line. Right now, they're still below average. So, we gotta talk about the Green Bay Dallas game. Bronson, I know you don't like talking about Green Bay, but I think this game proves that Green Bay are real strong contenders. They're gonna win the division.
Yeah, they're gonna win the division.
Even without Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, which is weird to say, but like, he has not played at Aaron Rodgers level, and they're still winning games.
He's a game manager now.
Yeah,
because Mike Pettin got control.
Yeah, exactly. So, and he doesn't need to do anything. And Matt LaFleur is a run-first coach, as we saw last year at with the Titans. He is a run-first coach. So, you see Aaron Jones, fantasy football owners there are happy with him. And
I will say this.
Go ahead.
I will say this. The Packers did play another really bad team.
Yeah.
I don't think the Cowboys are as good as everyone lets on.
No.
Go figure, their 2 hard games came against winning teams, and they lost both of them.
Yeah.
So.
And Dak played like shit in both of them. And that's the thing. That's why when they offered him whatever god amount of money they wanted to offer Dak Prescott, he should have taken it. rather than try to be like, I deserve $35 million. If they offered him 30, he should have taken 30. You know why? Because those first 3 weeks of the season, he played against the Giants, who have a below average defense, the Washington Redskins, who have a below average defense, the Miami Dolphins, who are openly tanking the season. And look at him. He had pretty damn good stats. He plays against the New Orleans Saints and the Green Bay Packers, who are both contenders this year.
And lose both of them.
And lose both of them. Not only lose both of them, but play like shit. Play like absolute dog shit. Yeah, he threw for 400 yards, 463 yards, but that's because you were losing by 30 at halftime or whatever God about, you know. It was embarrassing for the Cowboys. You know, if you're a Cowboys fan and you think that Dak Prescott is the answer and you're willing to pay him the $35 million, no. I mean, we talked about it before. We thought maybe 25. He deserves a $25 million contract. And that was a hard maybe. And now, dude, I'd be surprised if they even fucking offer him any money. I'd be surprised if, they'll probably give him the franchise tag because there's no other options unless they trade up for a quarterback. But, yeah, this was embarrassing. And if you're a Cowboys fan, this was an absolute shit show.
Yeah, if the cat... I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If the Cowboys are smart and Jerry Jones is smart, they should turn this into an audition year for Dak and just see how the rest of the season progresses before moving forward. Be like,
I'm sure after these 2 straight losses, Jerry is already thinking that.
He's definitely. Yeah, they kept showing him in the box. I mean, he was pissed. I mean, furious. I mean, I just think that's really the right move to go.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to offer him $35 million contracts if he's going to play good teams, good fucking teams, and be dog shit. There's no reason.
Yep.
So, that's about it for that. We'll briefly touch on the Colts-Kansas City game. That was a great win for the Colts. Still proven that they don't need Andrew Luck to win games, and they actually held Mahomes to some good stuff there. I was very surprised. Even though he threw for 300 yards, I mean, they kept him in check for most of the game, and the Colts played a great defensive game otherwise. Mahomes, it was not easy for him at all to
shut down the run.
Yeah.
Mahomes had 2 hard games in a row with Detroit and fucking Indy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't think Mahomes is still throwing an interception on the year, which is still incredible to me. He's 11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, but he's going to have to have a, this is weird to say, but he's going to have a bounce back week after 2 straight weeks. But Indy did not make him feel comfortable at all that game. And I love that about them. They are a hard-nosed football team. They're a great built football team. And what's even crazier is they still have all their draft picks for this upcoming draft, and they're still projected to have the most cap space in the NFL.
You know, it's also, I think, part of Kansas City's issue, dude, is their receivers. It's catching up to them.
Yeah.
They don't have Tyreek, and Sammy Watkins sucks. Okay, like we all know this.
Yeah.
And then you don't use your first overall pick rookie at all. So it's just not working out for them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the weirdest thing for them. So they definitely need to bounce back. And that was the thing for me was bless you. It's all good. That was the thing for me is that when they had the opportunity to draft DK Metcalf, who's basically a larger version of Mecole Hardman, who Mahomes could absolutely use right now, they instead took Mecole Hardman because they didn't think they were going to have Tyreek Hill, which blows my mind because, don't get me wrong, as a pure football player, forget the off-the-field stuff, as a pure football player, Tyreek Hill is one of the best wide receivers in the game. Off the field, he's a garbage human being, will always be a garbage human being, whatever. But as for on the field talent, he is one of the top talents. But this is where you could easily fit a DK Metcalf into this offense. A guy who runs Tyreek Hill routes. Just go. Catch the ball. Run. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He has the speed, but he doesn't have the elusiveness, and he's like, I think Andy Reid saw him. I mean, they probably met with him, and if Andy wasn't impressed, chances are it wasn't worth his time.
And I get that, but
and don't get me wrong. I also said DK was going to be a bust, and he hasn't really shown us anything other than he can run a go route, and that's not first round grade.
No, but they didn't have a first round pick. If you remember, they traded that for Frank Clark to the Seattle Seahawks. So they had a second round pick and drafted Mecole Hardman in the second round. So they had the ammunition to pick him, but they in a good spot too in the second round.
Yeah, but no one took him in the second round, and he went in the third.
Seattle did. No, Seattle took him in the second.
I could have swore he was a third round pick.
He was the last pick of the second round. So
he's a third round pick.
Whatever. Anyways, apples and oranges. So regardless, they didn't pick much higher than that. They picked like 2 spots ahead. So regardless, I'm not saying like I'm just saying in general, rather than get a guy like a Mecole Hardman or even like an Andy Isabella, they could have used a big body type receiver. Even hell, they should have even maybe traded up and gotten AJ Brown, like the Titans have right now, who's only 6'1", but he plays at 225 and he plays every bit of 225. He's a big physical receiver.
Well,
so
I think Andy Reid has a vision for the offense, and I don't know what the fuck it is. I think it's like his like NFL rendition of the air raid, and I don't know, short, fast, agility fucks. But anyway, let's move on.
Yep, and then final game we'll talk about is the Monday Night Thrashing, the absolute fisting, where the Cleveland Browns look like shit and the San Francisco 49ers played awesome. I mean, there's not much to say about in terms of the 49ers. They're continuing to play good football. I'm happy for Kyle Shanahan because I definitely think he's a great coach. He's one of the best offensive minds in the game. Plus, you're starting to see him get his team under where he wants it to be. Now, I'm not saying they're going to continue and be undefeated for the rest of the season. I think that they fall off, but this is a team that's going to fight for the playoffs and probably make the playoffs. Whereas the Browns, holy shit, I don't know where to start with this team. Maybe the poor offensive line, maybe the absolute shit show that is Baker Mayfield that's been going on right now, maybe the fact that they can't stop a running team at all, even though they needed run defense this is awful.
Yeah.
John, you got anything to add?
Other than thank you, San Fran. That helped put the Ravens back first in the division. But I don't know. I think I believe I was talking to both of you guys, or we were talking about in our group chat about how this was probably the product of maybe is this the wrong head coach? It's a lot of going in that this was the Browns team that was going to change it all. It was a lot of hype, and
it's that
Baker,
dream team shit, dude.
Yeah, it
when
is.
You start putting all these big names in one room together, it does not work.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It barely worked for the Rams 2 years ago when they did it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, and I think, and I don't even want to say it's it's even bad for like an Odell Beckham, but this is he's been a non-factor, and I don't know what it is. It's not because of on the field stuff. We've never heard a single word from him. He hasn't acted out. He hasn't done anything like that. But where the fuck are you? Are you not open? Are you slacking off because you're like, fuck it? Is it because Baker's just so fucking terrible this year that it's unbelievable? I don't get it.
Some of these throws I've seen Baker miss.
I think Baker's not throwing to him, and when he does, it's wildly inaccurate. And I think the biggest plays Odell's done on that team have been as a quarterback. pretty sure he's had more yards. This is probably highly inaccurate, but I'm almost positive he has more yards passing than he has had receiving the last couple of weeks.
Probably, honestly.
Well, let's take a look. Hold on 1 second here. So, no, continue.
I think he had like a 35-yard pass to like Jarvis.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, I don't get it, man.
Yeah, I think it's just it's Kitchens, and I'm pretty sure he had a quote that he thinks of himself as the bad boy of the NFL.
Oh God, I think he's far from it. I don't even fear him as a head coach, to be honest. Like,
no, I look at him and I'm like, you're an illiterate redneck who doesn't know which way from fucking Sunday. Like, I don't think he is not ever meant to be a head coach. He is a guy you do not put in front of a camera. Like, yeah, that's just how I feel about that.
Yeah,
and
he's another Mike Pettin. Honestly, he's a redneck Mike Pettin, a guy who'll probably be a great coordinator somewhere else, a guy who'll be a great, guy who's not a head coach, but exactly that, not head coach material. And we saw that with Mike Pettin, where he failed in Cleveland as a head coach, but you put him as a defensive coordinator, and look what he's done everywhere he's gone to.
Yep. And that sometimes coaches have limits like that. I mean, we see it all the time. I mean, a lot of guys, new coaches or new coordinators rather, they have a number one defense or offense. And I feel like it works out more. Well, maybe it's half and half, but I feel like for the offensive minds, at least in today's football, it works out more. Some defensive minds, it does work out, but I don't know. It seems like today's game, it's more on the offensive side of the mind.
Well, I think it's just more so the issue of the coach. Like, is Kitchens going in there and be like, do whatever the fuck you want to do on defense and yada 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 yada. I ain't gonna police you. I ain't gonna coach you. I ain't gonna talk to you. And he's just letting two coordinators just do whatever the fuck they want with zero accountability. Like, is that the issue? Yeah. And it very well could be. And he also may be a fuck it coach. I mean, I kind of get that vibe because the offense isn't doing anything. No one's being held accountable. Granted, Baker is Baker. He just says whatever the fuck he wants. That game, he came in. We all saw the handshake video and everything with Baker. In that moment, Baker didn't even look like Baker. He didn't look swaggy. He didn't look hype. He looked like a dude who was kicked in the nuts 30 seconds prior. Yeah. Or like raped in prison. Like, he looked like he was like cowardly and like kind of just like lost. Like, it's like, what the fuck happened to you before you even stepped onto the field, man? Like, I saw zero like swag or any sort of energy out of him. He just looked like a limp dick.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing with that we don't want on a Baker Mayfield. Like, we expect Baker Mayfield to come in there like he's got the biggest dick in the room instead of a fucking micro penis. So, or to quote, to do a famous quote in our friendship, I'm a grower, not a shower.
Oh Lord, never forget.
Never forget. So, but yeah, that does it for week 5. We'll talk about the week 6 game just a moment here. First, want to touch up on the season picks where, oh boy, did I shit the bed because I went to sleep and didn't wake up until like 4 in the afternoon. So, I forfeited, willingly too. I forfeited the first half of the games thinking that I would get the last or most of the games.
How would you willingly not? Like, I mean,
that's a lot of games.
How are you going to argue it? Like, yeah, I was definitely going to pick this team.
Well, a couple of them afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, I would have picked this team and got my ass kicked. So, like, I was probably going to pick Atlanta instead of Houston, but, thank God I didn't. God, that would have fucking been terrible. Either way, I took the losses, like a champ. I'm not sitting here bitching. I'm not sitting here going to be like, fucking bullshit. So, but that unfortunately gives John a massive lead now in the picks. So after the week 5 debacle, as I'm calling it, Bronson finished with a record of 8-7, John 10-5, and me 2-13. So
you gotta eat ghost pepper now. I don't care. It's like no, I'm just kidding. Don't do it.
Fuck you. Yes, we're still doing the ghost pepper challenge, despite what Bronson says.
So now we have to rub mayonnaise on us.
Yeah, you got rub mayonnaise.
Man, I can't wait. Mayonnaise bad. Let's go.
Who is it that doesn't like mayonnaise? Was it Zach? Yeah, Zach doesn't like. Yeah, that's weird.
He'll never listen to this because he doesn't watch sports. But you, yeah,
dude. I'll say, Max, you almost could have really fucked us if last week was like a pick a ghost pepper game. Like we would have been fucked if we had to pick a ghost pepper game from the 4 o'clocks.
Probably. So well,
yeah.
Well, we're good now. We don't have to do it. You'll be fine. We're still doing it week 8, and you're gonna have to eat a ghost pepper. Hopefully not, but probably. So, regardless, Bronson was 8-7, John was 10-5, I was 2-13, which gives us the overall record of now me in last place at 41-35-1, Bronson at 42-34-1, and John at 47-29-1. So
let's go.
So that leads us into week 6, where
John picks first every week now.
Yes, he does.
Every
pick first.
week
until you're not in first.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you're implying that I'm never gonna give up first. I like it.
Well, either way, first off, we did pick the Thursday games, even though we're recording on Friday. We did pick the Thursday games. We have the text message.
We all
to
picked
prove
Patriots. I'll pick Patriots.
No, you didn't.
No.
You lying sack of shit.
Nice try.
You picked the Giants. Good try.
So tough.
This is
You know,
the
it was
Super
so-
Bowl.
I had started drinking like an hour early that night. I was like, I type up a text message, and this is literally what it said. Yeah, I think the Giants are gonna win, but I'm gonna have to take the Patriots. And then I was like, fuck that. And I just like deleted the whole thing. And so like, I really wish I didn't like let my bravado get the best of me. Damn you, Natty Bo.
Sponsored by Natty Bo.
See it again.
But yeah, so the Patriots and the Giants happened, and Patriots, I guess, get revenge for the fact that 16-0 or 19-0 didn't happen. So, or was it 18-1 or whatever the fuck they went for that season as well? Who cares? But yeah, the Patriots stomp out the Giants. By the way, I said this openly, and I said this pretty passionately about Daniel Jones. I said, yes, he had a great game against the Buccaneers. Let me remind you, the Buccaneers on defense have not stopped anybody. Let me remind you, the Buccaneers on defense gave up 40 points to the Rams and had to score 55 to beat them. So, yes, he had a great game against the Buccaneers. Okay? But since that great game against the Buccaneers, Daniel Jones has thrown against the Washington Redskins, where he threw a touchdown and 2 picks. The Minnesota Vikings threw a touchdown and 1 pick and had a 55% completion percentage. And then went up against the Patriots and threw 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, and had less than 200 yards passing for the second week in a row. So I don't want to hear that Daniel Jones is this fucking savior when he's still a rookie quarterback who probably should have sat out the rest of this year. But the Giants were like so desperate to get away from Eli Manning that they're just like, fuck it, we'll throw him in there and we'll see what happens. YOLO. So
they have nothing to lose by starting him. They have nothing to gain by not starting him. And they have absolutely no skill position players. And he's had to play on two games now or 3 games now with no Saquon. So I mean, yeah, he's played like ass the last couple weeks, but at the same time, like his team is doing him no favors.
Golden Tate dropped a few passes that I saw too. A couple in that game, and I think a few last week as well.
Yeah, but he also had the most yards at 102 with 6 catches. So
Well, all of his yardage came on like a 70-yard catch. So
yeah, that is true. So what you're telling me, you don't believe in Daniel Jones of Duke?
It's not that I don't believe in him.
Daniel Jones of Duke.
Of Duke.
Duke. No, it's not that I don't. I hope he does good. I hope he does prove people wrong. But for everybody to say that he is the unequivocal best quarterback out of this draft class, when we've seen that he's clearly not, and to say that he is the savior for this franchise for this year is a fallacy. It's an absolute fallacy. The guy, honestly, I get what you're saying, Bronson, but again, I've always been on the steady train of if you have a rookie quarterback.
You fucking sit him. I know you say it every
sit him a
goddamn year.
I know.
But like,
unless that quarterback gets
that's not going to happen. When they had Eli, they should have gotten rid of Eli last year. That wasn't going to. They are a year removed. You have to treat last year as the year of their, I'm doing air quotes, rookie quarterback sitting, because they fucked up in not taking a quarterback last year. Okay, that's the year they should have done it, because then it would have made sense this year at this point in the season. But they're not going to go 2 whole fucking seasons in New York with Eli at quarterback when everyone's wanted him gone 2 fucking seasons ago.
Yeah,
so technically 3 years ago, they wanted his ass gone. And they did I don't know how the Giants pulled off letting Eli start this long go on. Like, that was crazy to me. He should have been gone after last season. He shouldn't have even been coming into the season as a quarterback. So, like,
I agree with that. They should have let him go, but they could have still brought in a veteran option to let the quarterback sit.
But I think the Giants.
I get it. It's New York.
Yeah, it's New York.
And it's New York, and it's it's a lot of pressure and yada yada yada. I get that. And Eli, and he did the same thing that Eli did, where Eli took over for Kurt Warner halfway through the season as well. So, and I get that. I get that.
Also, I'll argue the best quarterbacks in this draft class this year, the ones that are playing the best, are the 2 fucking dudes that no one ever even talked about in Minshew and fucking Allen out of Carolina.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 best goddamn quarterbacks playing right now, and they got fucking thrown in.
Hey, Hodges looked great last week too.
And they're fucking balling out. Kyler's playing well, but I think that team has a lot of work to do, and I think they need to get better in their like play calling and their offensive weapons. Because Larry can't do it all, and I mean the he's gonna die like tomorrow, right? Like he's gotta. It's a bit critical, but you know what I mean.
A bit critical.
I love Larry Fitzgerald. You're literally one of my favorite players in the NFL. I'm just saying, he's old. That's all I'm getting at, and it's just like. Kyler has impressed me. I thought he was going to be a lot worse than it actually has been, but I'd say Minshew and Allen are winning games, looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like the year of the undrafted.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, and then then you got Hodges. I mean, you got Modges, the Duck guy. I just know he's in the Ducks. He's really in the Ducks. I saw him on Twitter, and he made like an inspirational quote about being a duck.
Hey, real quick, with the Patriots Giants game, did anyone notice? I think it was towards the end of the first half, Bill Belichick on the sideline. He was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like he was pissed.
Yeah, because
their
this
defense is amazing, but their offense has been.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they're missing Rob Gronkowski, and that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
Because even a down year of Rob Gronkowski from last year, guess what? You still had the game plan for Rob Gronkowski. Why? Because that dude can also run block, and because he's still Rob fucking Gronkowski.
Yeah, he was probably watching him on the Fox pregame or NFL Network pregame, like, motherfucker, get back here.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody, they had him or whatever. No, He was talking about, he's a squirrel. He talking about Tom Brady. He's like, he's a
nut.
squirrel. He's gonna get that nut. I was like,
No, he was talking about Julian Edelman.
oh, was he?
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought it was...
yeah.
He's like, he's little,
Yeah.
he's cute, he's furry.
Yeah, I freaking love. Oh my god, he's the best.
And that's why I think Gronkowski is like he should be honestly on fucking Monday Night Football more than fucking Jason.
Oh
Witten.
my god,
That'd be amazing.
that would be amazing. Yes,
And
please.
Booger McFarlane. Fuck Booger McFarlane.
Fuck Booger.
Yeah,
His
fuck
name's Booger. Like, anyone named Booger. Like,
yeah, exactly. So, all right. So we're gonna get through these picks.
all right.
For week 6. So John, as Bronson so unequivocally put it, John will go first except
every week.
except for the Baltimore pick. John picks last for the
Every
Baltimore.
week.
Yeah.
Hey, you said every week. I'm just repeating it.
Be no bitch. So
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
all right, so we got the first game up. It is the other England game. Funny enough, it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and it's the Carolina Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is funny to me because the owners of the Bucks, the Glazers, also own Manchester United, who are rivals with Tottenham. So it's like, yeah, nobody should be rooting for Tampa Bay if you're in that stadium. So, but yeah, it's Carolina versus Tampa Bay. This was also going to be the revenge game for Gerald McCoy, but England had to kind of get in the way. So unless they somehow both make the playoffs this year, which ain't gonna happen, this is the only, and like Tampa Bay gets the home game. This is, Gerald McCoy doesn't get his revenge for this year. So, but yeah, John, you get first. Carolina, Tampa Bay. Go ahead.
Going back to the Tottenham thing, it's gonna be funny when they put the Buccaneer stuff up everywhere because they're technically the home team. But
Yeah.
anyways, I got the Panthers in this one. Kyle Allen's playing pretty fucking awesome, and I love it.
Bronson.
Who's home? Oh, that's fucking London.
England. Yeah.
The Bucks are home. They're the home team.
Golly. McCaffrey's playing like a goddamn MVP. Oh, man. Jameis is playing pretty well, though.
He's playing average.
I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take the Panthers here.
You're gonna take the Panthers? Alright. And I will also take the Panthers because fuck Jameis. I'm sorry, I will always say it. I'm not a Jameis Winston fan. Despite, yes, I'm a Gators fan. He went to FSU. That's not even the point of hating Jameis Winston. I just think he's not that good of a quarterback. So, and he's probably going to get fucking paid a boatload of money here, and it's going to be awful. And I feel sad for either the Buccaneers or some other team, some other schmuck team that pays for him. So, Seattle versus Cleveland, John.
I got Seattle. They're the away team, but I don't like the way the Browns are playing right now. No disrespect.
All the disrespect. And I don't think the Browns are enjoying the Browns how they're playing this year too. So, Bronson.
This is where I got to start being bold and a little crazy because I got to make up some ground here. As much as I love how well the Seahawks are playing, I think this division, the NFC West, has to level out a little bit, and so does the NFC or the AFC North. I don't think last week that was the Browns' low. I don't think it could get any worse for them. Baker had a 13 passer rating. They have to do something here, whether it is running the ball, throwing the ball better, protecting better. Granted, I would love to be seeing them come off this game after a bye, but I think I'm going to have to take the Browns at home.
All right. I am going to stick with Seattle. I think Seattle's firing on all cylinders. I think, you could even have a full defensive team of Shaquem Griffins out there. Shaquille, the brother with the one hand, and they would still kick Cleveland's ass. So, I'm gonna go Seattle for this one. Houston versus Kansas City.
Man, it is. This is going to be interesting. I mean, the Texans are starting to look good. A lot of people are believing in Deshaun Watson. I mean, when he has protection, he shows what he can really do.
Yeah.
And the Texans are going to have to bring the pressure on Mahomes. I don't think the Chiefs are going to drop 2 in a row, though, especially at home. So I'm going with Kansas City.
All right. Bronson.
Decisions. This game could really fucking go either way. It's probably going to go into overtime. It's probably going to be fucking high scoring. Golly. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs here. It's hard to bet against them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chiefs as well. I really want to take Houston, but I honestly just don't think that the Chiefs are gonna drop 2 in a row. I mean, that's asking a lot. I mean,
And
watch out.
If they do, then there's gonna be some severe offensive problems going on.
Yeah.
You know, another interesting fact. I actually just saw this. It says Pat Mahomes, he's 15-0. That's his career record in non-primetime games. So that's a pretty interesting stat that I would bet on.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. And like I said, I think Houston's gonna put a good game out there, especially since the Kansas City Chiefs are hurting along the offensive line, and their running game has looked terrible the last couple weeks. But I think they somehow prevail. So
is this a game where they're getting Tyreek back, or is it still?
I think he's still out. So I think it'll be.
Okay.
No, he's been practicing.
Yeah.
He is a game time decision, so
Yeah,
he
I
probably will play this week.
Especially after losing last week and the way the Texans are playing, they need him.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to see if maybe he practiced at all. So, practice. He did a little scout team. Yeah, I mean, if he's practicing, he'll probably be good to go this week. So, and it depends. If they feel good at going into this game, they might just hold him out for one more week just to do it. But if not, they could really use him. So, the game that nobody wants to watch, or maybe everybody wants to watch. I don't know, but it's the Tank Bowl 2019. I thought the Tank Bowl was coming like later in the year, but apparently it's now. So it is the Washington Redskins against the Miami Dolphins. And really quick, I will talk about this really quick, okay? Washington fired their head coach, Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden obviously is gone. Good for him. Good for fucking him, because we talked about head coaches who shouldn't be head coaches and just coordinators. Well, Jay Gruden, you fit that exactly. You are a great offensive mind. You have trained some of the best offensive minds out there that are currently head coaches. But guess what? You should have been fired a couple years ago. I don't know how you kept your job. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because you said, I got Gruden on my last name. And Bruce Allen was like, oh, I've got John Gruden's smarter younger brother. Oh, I'm gonna fucking come on myself. Like, I don't get it. And Daniel Snyder is just like, well, shucks, I don't know. I'll just go back to running my theme park. So you do whatever, Bruce Allen. I'll do whatever you want. Just make sure you start that quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. I don't know why he's got a southern accent. I don't know what the fucking... No, he sounds like a little bitch. Either way.
Yeah, he sounds like this.
Yeah, either way, this is a awful franchise. This is a terrible franchise. I don't know who wants to be the head coach of this team. Obviously Rex Ryan does, but who the fuck wants Rex Ryan as their head coach? But other than Rex fucking Ryan, who's literally sucking dick on the side to make sure he gets another job in the NFL... I don't know who wants to run this team, because you got shitty ass Bruce Allen running this team on this main side, and you've got shitty fucking ass Daniel Snyder owning the team. So I don't get it. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their agenda is, but this is awful. This is fucking worst team ever. they're playing like shit, and I'm so over it as a Redskins fan. It's so bad. I'll get to my pick here in just a moment, but and I'll explain what's gonna happen this week if they lose. But John, go ahead.
Very well put. That's hard to follow up, so I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. Yeah, apparently this may be the game that everyone wants to watch. Apparently, I don't know. I had NFL Network on earlier today, but they get. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. The Dolphins openly came out and said they're tanking. Basically, I don't think Snyder would ever agree to do something like that. Just knowing Snyder and him being like a big Redskins fan, I mean they are a bad team, but with the Dolphins tanking the way they are, I think this is going to be the game where the Redskins get that one win.
All right, Bronson.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Redskins here. Your defense that's been playing like shit's gonna look like fucking Clemson up against a D4 college.
Basically.
Which doesn't even exist.
I know.
All right, that's all you got to put into it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What else? What is there? I mean, it's not complicated. The Dolphins have 800 total yards or 900 total yards of offense. Christian McCaffrey has 880 total yards himself.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Redskins. But I have a feeling. I don't feel good going into this game. I should have felt good going into this game. I should have been like, all right, at least we'll get one win. I don't know if we're even going to fucking win this game. And I'll tell you what, if we don't win this game, if we don't win against a team that openly traded its best players because they wanted to tank and lose and everything like that, I'm done. I don't think I can put any more effort into this team. I don't think I can put any more fucking money into this team than I already have, man. And if that happens, then guess what? I'm on the open market, baby. I'll be a free agent. I will sell whoever sends me the free shit or whatever. You got me as your fan. So,
dude, just come to the Bears. It's already in your family. It's an easy transition. I got you.
John, you have anything to put?
I mean, you already wear Bears shit. That's the thing. I feel like I couldn't convince you to be a Ravens fan, but I will say that my boss has season tickets to the Redskins, and I'm shocked to say that she said that she has considered becoming a Ravens fan. She is originally from Baltimore as a Colts fan, but well, she had sideline passes one time at M&T Bank, and Ravens fans were spitting on her apparently. So that shocked me. But hey, man, you come on over, baby. You come up to Maryland. You already know where the game's at.
Man, y'all should have gotten your free crab cakes too. I told y'all what to do.
Man, I don't have time to go over there. I'm working every day. Shit.
Only for them to deny you because you dress too poorly. Anyways, moving forward.
Yeah, true.
Not that or anything. So, go to Bo Brooks. Philadelphia versus Minnesota, John.
Huh. So everyone's all of a sudden riding on Minnesota again, all because Kirk finally had one decent game. I mean, it wasn't anything stellar. But I mean, Dalvin Cook is looking great, but the Eagles have the top-ranked rush defense, and you know me, I love defense, and I will never bet against that. Dalvin Cook will probably still have a good game, but I think the Eagles get this win.
All right, Bronson.
Who's home?
Minnesota.
Golly. How many more games do we have left to pick?
Let's see. After this game, we got 1, 2, 8.
Got 8 more?
Yep.
All right.
So far, the only game you've gone against John, or the 2 games you've gone against John, are the New England game and the Cleveland game. And you're already down 1.
Right. Down 5.
Yeah, so you're down 6 right now.
Wait, God damn it. So you didn't count that in?
Well,
no,
because Thursday, last night's game.
Yeah, it was last night's game. So
Yeah, well, you should have counted it. All right.
You're down 6. Shut up. Move on.
I'm gonna take Minnesota just because I really need to start making some ground here, and it's gonna be a fucking coin flip for who wins this goddamn game.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I've got nothing to lose either. I'm going to take Minnesota as well, only because I think that their defense is going to play good. And maybe Kirk has finally figured out his fucking issues. Maybe not. Who knows? He's like a bipolar. You know, one week he's like super giddy and awesome, and it's like, whoo, 4 touchdowns. The other week it's like, whoo, 4 fumbles. So we'll see which Kirk Cousins we get this week. Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh boy. New Orleans versus Jacksonville, John.
Minshew mania.
I scrolled past the game. Yeah, man. I mean, Minshew mania. Uncle Rico looking ass.
Free mustaches for everyone who comes to the game.
Yeah, that's so cool that they're doing that.
And if you show up in jorts, if you show up in straight up jorts, cut off jorts, you get a free Minshew jersey. Fucking
and your
love it.
boy has some jean shorts, so I wish I was in Jacksonville right now. Cause
just come on down, just whatever, road trip, fuck it.
Well, it's not even close to you. Jackson. Yeah, I was about to say.
I'll drive to you.
All right, bet. But I mean, Teddy's looking good each and every week. I know, looks like he, maybe the product that, like last week playing at home, but I mean, he put up over 300 yards. And it seems like they're starting to trust him more until Drew Brees comes back. And I wonder how much Drew Brees is helping Bridgewater out and how much that is helping him now that he's playing again. And Minshew's great, and I think this could be a close game potentially, but I think the Saints get this win.
All right. And yeah, John, just come on down. I'll buy you a ticket and then try to come after you a year later for it. Yeah. Bronson.
I'm going to take the Saints here. I want to be bold, but not that bold.
Yeah, I'm also going to take the Saints. I think it's going to be a good game, but Jacksonville still has some issues, and Jalen Ramsey's probably not going to start. So if Jalen Ramsey was starting, I'd probably go... I probably might pick the Jacksonville Jaguars, but because he's not starting, I'm gonna go Saints. So, let's see, Cincinnati versus Baltimore. Bronson, you're first this time.
Just fucking give me Baltimore. But now they're gonna lose because I picked them.
Probably.
Fuckers just can't seem to appease me.
No, I forget who's your bogey team. No, Carolina's your bogey team this year. That's right. Every time, yeah, Carolina's your bogey team. So, I'm also gonna pick Baltimore only because I think Cincinnati's still garbage doo-doo pants. So, and John.
Yeah, I think this is a game that the Ravens need. I think Lamar will at least get close to 300 yards passing. But yeah, they're at home, and give me that win, baby.
All right. So, and we're hopefully 1 week closer to AJ Green getting traded to a good team. So. Yeah.
I mean, I think they should. They might as well at this point.
Yeah. Get a late first, early second for him. Whatever. Just get it done.
Too fucking bad that they're in our division. That'd be cool if. I mean, I don't think the Ravens will make a move at that position. They'd need an offensive lineman, but that'd be sick.
Be sick.
Sick.
All right, San Francisco versus the Rams, John.
Yeah, this game though. I mean, this goes along with what we were saying earlier. I mean, this division's gonna be a dogfight, man. I mean, between these two teams and Seattle, and Arizona might mix it up a little. You never know, but I don't know. I think these two will split. But give me 49ers this game. I think they're hot right now.
All right, Bronson.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners. No Gurley, no Talib. Even though the fucking Niners seem to win games without any wide receivers, it blows my mind. But yeah, take the Niners.
I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to be bold because I got nothing to lose, A. B, I think that the Rams, I think after 2 straight hard losses that they've taken, they need a win, and they need to win desperately. So even without Gurley, I think Goff somehow shows his way. I think he picks on probably Richard Sherman a little bit there. So, so give me the Rams. I don't care. Just give me the fucking Rams. Fucking let me tank the rest of the season, baby. Atlanta versus Arizona, John.
It's another tough one. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
the winless Cardinals up against the
Arizona won last week.
They got
So it's the one. It's the battle of the 1-win teams. The other tank bowl.
Yeah.
The battle for pick 3.
yeah. That's what it seems like right now. I mean, it seems like there's been a lot of scrutiny towards Matt Ryan. I mean, he's had a lot of offensive coordinator changes the last few seasons since the Super Bowl, and there's a lot of players and coaches that are on the hot seat right now. But I think they get a win here. No, nothing against Arizona. I think it'll be close, but I don't know. I don't see the Falcons going to 1-5.
Bronson.
Who's home?
Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So I am taking the Cardinals here. I've been talking to Joe about this goddamn team, and all he sends me every Sunday is, "Bruh, we suck." So, in the words of that, I'm gonna go and take the Cardinals here.
I'm also going to take the Cardinals here, and the reason for that is I think this is a poorly coached team in the sense of they haven't been good since Kyle Shanahan left, which, say what you want, he did kind of cost them the Super Bowl, but he was the reason why they got to the Super Bowl in the first place. He was the reason Matt Ryan was the MVP, and he was the reason why they were a quarter and a half away from winning the damn thing. So, ever since then, they've been on a free fall despite the talent that they have on offense and defense. And mark my words, too, if they lose to Arizona this week, which I think they will, Dan Quinn will be fired. And I could easily see Lincoln Riley going to Atlanta. That's not a as somebody in wrestling would say, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, and shout out to the Cardinals because I always love watching their home games, because their stadium announcer is the best.
Yeah. So, all right, Tennessee versus Denver.
This is a good week to get John.
Yeah, it is. I mean, there is quite a few trap games, motherfuckers.
This is why the person in first should pick first.
Yeah. No. I like it.
This is a good rule. Thank you, Bronson, for suggesting that.
Yeah. Yes, a great suggestion. I love it. But no, I'm gonna pick the Titans. I mean, they have lost a few, and yeah, the Broncos went into LA and took down the Chargers, even though there was never that many. I swear, there's never that many Charger fans in that stadium. But anyways, the Titans' defense is still really great, and I mean, Joe Flacco, I think they'll get to him.
All right, and that's the reason there's so many Chargers fans in LA is because nobody in LA fucking cares about the Chargers. They should have stayed in San Diego and been the fucking San Diego Chargers. But whatever, Los Angeles got the money though.
Yep, the money talks.
Assholes. Yeah, fucking assholes. Bronson.
Yeah, the Chargers just got spanked a little bit by the Broncos. The Broncos, I think, they are not as bad as their record indicates, in my opinion.
No.
I think they have solid pieces at wide receiver. I think they have a tight end that could bud into something special. Philip Lindsay is highly underrated. And they're at home, and that is such an advantage. Such an advantage. So I'm going to take Vic Fangio. I don't care if they lost Bradley Chubb for the season. I'm taking the Broncos here. Look for Von Miller to fucking shine.
Yeah. All right. So here are the results that the Broncos have had this year. They lost to the Raiders 24-16. They lost to the Bears off a last-second field goal, 16-14. They lost to the Packers, 27-16, and to the Jaguars again by a last-second field goal, 26-24. Realistically, a couple plays here and there, and they could be 4-1 right now, easily.
Yeah.
They could easily be 4-1 right now. They're instead 1-4. Tennessee, Marcus Mariota is still the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the
Cody Parkey, baby.
And Cody Parkey, baby, is back in the NFL.
Damn right. I'm going with him.
Watch this motherfucker kick 5 straight field goals from 43 yards
saying.
on the right hash.
It's gonna. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a close game. I think it's gonna be an awesome defensive game. And
this motherfucker, he's probably gonna tell Mike Vrabel, "Hey, all right, get it to about the was it 43 yards? Get it to about the 25-yard line. Move it to the right hash. I want to kick this field goal. Do it."
You know what? The bold prediction this week should be that Cody Parkey in overtime is going to up it from a double doink to a triple doink.
The blocked kick. So, except this one won't be blocked. This one will straight up just
man who blocks himself. Cody Parkey.
He fucking goes to kick it and instead kicks it in his
face. From a mile high.
Yeah, like I said, instead he goes to kick it and kicks it like too low so it fucking bounces in his face and shit. Like,
or it hits the goalpost so hard it comes back and hits him in his face mask.
I'm sorry, our meta cart is broken. Sorry, you're gonna have to
walk. We joke, but also it's funny as shit.
Okay.
Dallas versus the Jets.
Max, you didn't pick, fool.
Oh, I did. I said Denver.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. You both went against me.
Yeah. Fuck you, John.
So you said Cowboys Jets?
Yeah, Cowboys Jets.
All right. So this is a game that Darnold comes back. Yeah, no more mono, no more kissing disease. So that's pretty exciting. So we actually get to see maybe what he can do with Lev Bell and the other pieces in that offense. But I don't know. I think it might take a couple games for that to get going. And Dak's actually been pretty legit on the road this season against bad teams. I know. So that's why I'm picking the Cowboys. I think the Jets are still pretty banged up. I think Mosley's still out, right?
As of right now, Mosley is still out, yes.
Yeah.
So, Bronson.
You know, I did a lot of how many games have I gone against, John? Don't include the Giants game.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
You're 6
4. I know. Gotta be smart here. Can't overreach, you know? How many more games we got left to pick?
3, including this game.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the Cowboys here. I think Darnold could start a little slow, but I could also see him doing the exact opposite here. He's had a lot of time to kind of watch film, get himself ready. So this is his moment. I mean, we'll see. I mean, he had to learn that Adam Gase offense. It's a little tricky, so maybe this time has been beneficial to him, but I don't see him having continuity with the receivers his first game back.
All right. I have got Dallas as well. I think that without CJ Mosley, without Harry Anderson, without Kelechi Osemele, this is still a team that's incomplete in the Jets, even though they get Darnold back. I think once they get their pieces back, I think they're an 8 or a 500 team. But I think right now, as they stand, they are not. Especially missing Mosley on that defense hurts them a lot. And I think watch Ezekiel Elliott rush for probably 100, 150 yards. So I'm gonna go with Dallas. Pittsburgh Chargers, John.
Well, you know, like I said earlier, I mean, I'm assuming they're gonna roll with Hodges at quarterback.
They are. They announced it today.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, this is gonna be a difficult task. I mean, like I said, he looked really great last week. Now he has to go all the way over to the West Coast. it is a primetime game. The Chargers do not normally play well in primetime games, but the way the Steelers are now and having to go all the way out west, and the Chargers are sitting at 2-3, and I still think they are a great team. So I think they're going to bounce back and get the win.
All right, Bronson.
Chargers.
Right, and I also have the Chargers as well. The Chargers, even though they're 2-3, really haven't played like they're 2-3. They've played really well this year. They just took a couple losses that hurt them in the long run. So, all right, and the final game is the Monday night game, where it's actually a really good game too. You've got the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. John.
The Packers are at home. The Lions are still pretty good, and it is a battle for first. But I think as long as Rodgers can stay healthy, I think each week, I mean, I'm not sure. I know we were saying that he's a game manager now, but I don't know. I think as the season progresses, you're going to start seeing him, show off more, I guess. So I'll take the Packers here.
All right. Bronson.
This fucking game makes me sick to my fucking stomach. Fuck these motherfucking teams, man. Taking the Packers. The Lions they've looked better than I think they really are. I think the season will catch up to them. The Packers are going to expose them a little bit. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball as well, but I think they'll just lean on Aaron Rodgers in this game a little bit. You can't tote the rock with Aaron Jones as many times as he did last week and then transition it into another week. It's just not going to happen. So, give me the Packers.
And I will go with the Packers as well. I think their defense has been playing lights out. It's going to be a tough game, though. I could see this easily being like 16-10. But that with that defense that they've got playing so far this well, I mean, I've got the Packers as well. So, and with that, we are done with the picks. Look at that, everybody! It was fun, exciting for our return back, for your ear holes. So I'm excited for this week. And I'm also nervous because we took some risks there, and Bronson, if we don't hit on some of these picks, man, we're fucked. Like, we might have to give John the gift card early.
Show me the money.
I don't know. I feel good about our picks. The only one that made me a little nauseous was the Atlanta game.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. With that does it this week. John, go ahead and pimp out your shit, yo.
Cool. Real quick, one thing I forgot to touch on earlier when we were talking about it, Russell Wilson actually is his touchdown to interception ratio so far this season is 12-0.
Yeah,
so
I said
that ranks. I thought you were only talking about Mahomes. So my bad.
No, I already talked that.
I completely missed about that.
Yeah, you suck.
My bad.
You suck. You were too busy vaping.
I wasn't vaping the whole time. Maybe most of the time, but not the whole time.
Fucking popcorn lung.
Yeah. Anyways, your boy is streaming now. Just some minor technical difficulties, but we're getting there. I'm on Mixer, Twitter, and Instagram under Necromancer. That's N3KROMANCER. Boom.
Bronson.
You can find me on the Instas at Chefman Bronson, on the Twitters as Bronson IOUS, Bronsonius. And that's going to be it. And you can always find our Pass Interference Podcast Instagram page, which we need to work on. I want to start posting our picks on that.
Yeah, I know. I need to find a template or something like that.
Yeah.
So we can...
I was about to say, if you have a template that could look pretty ballin' with our logo, that'd be cool.
Also, boycott Blizzard. That's
it. free Hong Kong. And with that as well, I am on the Twitter, Instagram, and now the Twitch as OG Liquid Jesus. I finally changed my name because it's just
Oh,
easier.
no more one.
Yeah, no more number one. I'm the original. I am the gangsterist of the Liquid Jesuses. So, yeah, you can find me on there sometimes and doing stuff and things like that. So, otherwise, you can catch us here on the Past Interference podcast on Spotify, iTunes, wherever the hell you listen to us at. So, everybody, have a good night, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, whenever the fuck you listen to this, and peace out.